whose voice describing things right now. Dan is a former Olympian. In fact, he was a fencer in 4 consecutive Olympics, 48, 52, 56, and 60 from New York City, and he fenced for City College. Director Dan Buchantz.
As you're preparing, the attack comes from the right, it touches against the left.
That was an excellent attack by Flom.
He ties it at 2
Watch
all.
Flom. Songini comes forward. Flom takes the blade in a parry and reaches the target. Absolutely outstanding fencing.
And an outstanding shot by our crew that time as we saw that touch to dead center. We are tied at 2 all.
You're coming forward with an arm up in the air. The stop rush comes in, has the right of way. The touch is right.
What we've just heard there, Bob, is the explanation of an attack in which right of way was established at first, then the hand was pulled back. Songini re-established right of way for himself by extending his point to score the touch.
And right of way
1 meter
simply means that the other fencer must parry the attack. The aggressive fencer has the right of way.
You were preparing the attack and stop. The attack comes from the right, the touch is against the left.
I think right of way is something that we'll use often in foil and saber, and probably the easiest way to explain it is if we thought of fencing as a deadly weapon, so to speak. And if you're attacked, you've got to defend yourself first before you can initiate a counterattack.
It is 3-3 between Flom and Songini. That is Flom on the left, Songini on the right.
1 meter.
Both have come a long way to go to their respective colleges, Bruno. That's a long way from Cagliari, Italy to Cleveland State.
It certainly is.
And a longer way from the USSR to George Mason University. But there they are.
Give a little ground, please. You didn't get
Fencing in the last 10 years, Bob, has begun to attract a considerable amount of international fencers, young people who come to this country for school and fence in our championships.
3-3.
This first action is off target to the floor. I got it.
I think Songini was a little unhappy about that call from our official, Dan Buchantz. Thought he should have been awarded the touch.
Bruno, even with the electronic equipment, how much is subjective when it comes to the director?
It's important for the director to be able to see the action very clearly. Even with the lights that will record a touch, he has to be able to see which way attacks and where the attacks are starting and where the defensive fencer is picking up a proper parry in order to score a touch in return. It's a very difficult procedure.
Well, Dan Buchantz, as we said, fenced himself in 4 Olympics and has been an official in every Olympic since 1960. So he's got about as much experience as you can have.
Ready?
All of this coming to you on ESPN. Bob Goldschall and Bruno Santonocito bringing it to you.
Halt. With halt, off target.
An interesting change from the very beginning of this bout.
Hold it. Would you put your socks up, please?
As I started to say, Bob, an interesting change in this bout is that at the very beginning, at the outset, Songini was very aggressive. Flom allowed himself to be pushed continually back to the end of the strip. I notice now that Flom is holding his ground and being more of the aggressor in this situation.
We are still deadlocked at 3 all. 5 will win the bout.
Both fencers have outstanding footwork.
Ready?
Songini, the taller of the two, at 6'3".
On guard.
And still, the score remains at 3 all.
When we see the fencers come together and make body contact, and we'll hear the director refer to it from time to time, it's called a core-a-core, body to body.
Bruno, one of the nice things about fencing is that you pick up a little French along the way.
That's right.
And those of us who took high school French can revert to a few things that we might have forgotten over the years.
It's the international language of the sport.
That is the mask of Songini we're looking at, and the back of Flom.
You're on the 1 meter line. You had run over it. The action continued. 1 meter. What's that? No. Well, you're warned now. You're on the 1 meter now. No, get back there. This last action started. I called halt on that. Are you ready? Fence.
The warning that Mr. Buchantz just gave Songini.
Back to the left is off target. On guard.
Referred to.
Reset, please. Okay.
The meter warning means that he's 1 meter short of the end of the strip, and should he go off the end of the strip with both feet, it would be a touch against him.
Okay, that's that back line we're looking at.
That's right.
On guard. And your preparation, the attack to the left
still
is
3-3.
Are you ready? Fence.
Now Songini has regained the on-guard line, so that if he should go back again, he would need to be warned again when he hits the meter line.
After halt, you're on the 1 meter line. I got it.
And Flom on the 1 meter line brings the action to a halt.
And now it's up to Flom to regain his ground so that he can prevent himself from being scored against by being pushed off the end of the strip.
Okay, now this timeout, Bruno, is this allowed, or does this go right along with just what happens in the foil?
It's allowed, but I think it's part of the psychology too, Bob. Just a moment to catch your breath, rethink what you're going to do.
Okay, the score still remains 3-all. The first one to score 5 touches wins the bout.
It was an excellent parry repost by Flom, but Flom's repost missed, and Songini's point again. The old epee coming out in him on target.
So Songini leading 4-3.
You make an attack and come back on guard. The attack then comes from the right side. The touch is against the left.
So we are deadlocked at 4-all. And we are down to sudden death, Bruno. The next touch wins the bout.
That's right. Something I would expect from 2 outstanding fencers.
I believe Flom wins it.
That's right.
Yep. Sasha, as they call him, Alexander Flom, scores the 5th and deciding touch. See if we can see it.
Songini, the aggressor, both coming together, and you'll see that Songini, the red light goes on. Look at that jump of joy from Flom.
Okay, we'll be back with more fencing in just 60 seconds.